Hello everybody, today me Krshang Parashar is here on the occasion of World Mental Health Day to explain to you what actually mental health means and explain you little things about our brain. So let's get started with it. So let's understand when World Mental Health Day is celebrated. World Mental Health Day is celebrated every year on 10th of October from 1992, which was started by the World Mental Health Federation. Now let's get started with our brain functioning. How our brain actually functions. Okay, so as this image which is displayed over here, there are 6 major types in which a brain is distributed. Number 1, the frontal lobe, then the temporal lobe, then the brainstem, then the parietal lobe, then the occipital lobe and the cerebellum. If we begin with the frontal lobe is responsible for thinking, speaking, memory and movement. Isn't that interesting? Then we move forward to the temporal lobe, which is responsible for hearing, learning and feeling. So if you can see all the things when people say that they are feeling something or they are feeling negative or positive, actually at that point of time the temporal lobe is active. Then we move to the brainstem. The brainstem is responsible for breathing, heart rate and temperature. All the unconscious things that you are not aware about, but they are working in the background, all those things brainstem is responsible for. Then we move forward to the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe is responsible for your language and touch. Then the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe is responsible for vision and your color perception. How you see your vision and then how you perceive that vision. That work is done by the occipital lobe. Then the cerebellum. Cerebellum is like your class CR or your class monitor. Why? Because it takes all the things that are happening in your body and mind. So this is how our brain is actually functioning, and this is how you are perceiving your emotions, feeling and your sensory things. So now let's move forward to what is anxiety and depression. पर anxiety और depression की ही बात क्यों कर रहे हैं हम? Other mental health disorders की भी तो बात कर सकते हैं, like PTSD, disassociation. तो let me tell you a fun fact. हर किसी ने अपनी लाइफ में कभी ना कभी PTSD syndrome फील किया है या फिर PTSD syndrome से सफर किए हैं. तो what actually PTSD mean? PTSD is the post traumatic stress disorder. या फिर कभी आपको लगता है ना आपको भूत दिख रहा है या आपको लगता है कि someone is constantly watching you. That is disassociation. That's what disassociation disorder means. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको disassociation disorder है. ये just सिर्फ एक disassociation disorder का एक part होता है, right? So now let's talk about anxiety and depression. Anxiety depression में हम क्या करते हैं? Anxiety depression में अगर आपको लग रहा है आपको anxiety depression है, तो फिर you just have to follow some breathing methods. 3 टाइप के breathing method होते हैं. एक होता है आपका intense breathing, एक होता है normal breathing, एक होता है आप जो रेगुलर ब्रीदिंग प्रैक्टिसेस करते हैं. सो अगर आप उसको नॉर्मलाइज करके अगर हम समझते हैं इज जस्ट दैट डिप्रेशन मीन्स होता है एक तरीके की ओवर थिंकिंग या एक तरह की फीलिंग में एक स्टक हो जाना, राइट? मीन्स आप उस एक तरह की फीलिंग में स्टक हैं बहुत टाइम से. सपोज यू आर सैड, देन यू विल गो इनटू ओवर थिंकिंग, एंड इफ यू आर ओवर थिंकिंग फॉर दैट स्टफ फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, दैट्स लीड टू डिप्रेशन. तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है if you are doing a little bit overthinking, you are in depression. So people say it in a wrong way. That's not depression, that's just your little sadness or overthinking, which you can overcome by the choices you make, by the diet you take, by choices you make. You can overcome that. So now let's say this term correctly. We are just overthinking or we are just feeling sad. We are not depressed, because depression is another aspect, right? So if you think you are overthinking a little bit, just start taking deep breaths, come into the present moment, because our mind has this tendency to either think about the future or think about the past, and that's what happens in depression, right? In depression, people just feel what happened in the past and what bad could happen in the future, which because of their current sad moment. So just you have to be in the present moment and see your surrounding and feel little thankful of whatever good things you have, right? And practice breathing techniques and have a lot of water, because after you are going to have a lot of water and practice the breathing techniques, you're going to come in the present moment and you can feel your surroundings and what good things you have in your surroundings. Another thing what you can do is start journaling. You know, as Murphy's law state that कि अगर हम अपनी problems note down कर लेते हैं तो हमें समझ आता है उसमें से आधी हमारी problems थी ही नहीं. Isn't that interesting? So you can follow that part. Now let's move forward to the anxiety. What actually anxiety is? Anxiety is the movement of your legs and your arms or any part of body because of your sadness, of your nervousness, or any other thing. It can happen to anybody. So not feeling कि अरे ये हमें हुआ या हमें हो सकता है, नहीं. It's because you are thinking of something that didn't happen, or you are living in the past trauma that could happen. In that case, if you're suffering it from a long, you should consult a psychiatrist or a counselor. But if you think that you have started or you are in the initial stage of the anxiety, you can follow the previous practices of breathing, journaling, and having a lot of water, and practice the breathing exercises. So these all things you can practice if you think you are suffering from overthinking or sadness or from anxiety. So this is what actually anxiety and depression means, and this is how our brain actually functions. So I hope on the occasion of World Mental Health Day, I can clear some thoughts and some questions of you that you have in your mind regarding your brain and your mental health. So this Mental Health Day, let's do an interpersonal promise that you are going to take your mental health as a priority. Thank you so much.